So I'm going to explain your NASA proposal project. NASA is the part of the US government that deals with space exploration. NASA has had many successful missions, including the International Space Station, the ISS, and Apollo 11, which put the first man on the moon in 1969. NASA's motto is for the benefit of all. NASA's always looking for new missions for the future. You are going to propose a plan for a project that will launch in the year 2030. You will make your proposal to the class for where the next mission should be. You will also design and/or build a model. Now, the mission must be to a planet. So what you're doing right here is you're doing a two-part thing. You are going to give us information about the planet that you pick, but you're also going to include information about what you're actually sending there. So you will present the class using Google Slides. In it, please include the following information: background information about the planet that you picked. And what type of mission is it? Is it a manned mission? Is it a satellite? Or is it a rover? So manned mission means you're sending people there. Satellite means you're just sending something to orbit the planet, perhaps take pictures, take measurements, that's it. And a rover is you're actually landing like essentially a vehicle on the planet that will be driving around, potentially taking samples or taking measurements as well. And you're also going to say, well, what do you hope to learn with this mission? Ideally, it's something that is an unsolved mystery that we don't know about yet. And in case you're not too sure what to do, if you pick planet Uranus, then do unsolved mysteries of planet Uranus and see what types of stuff we don't know yet. That could be your mission. Make sure that your slides follow the order listed in the rubric. The rubric is listed right here below. So, part 2, you also need to construct a model to help NASA visualize your plan. One is you could just build a model rocket ship. So what type of ship is it? What are the parts? These are the types of things you want to think about if you decide to make a rocket ship. Of course, the rocket ship will only make sense if it's a manned mission. Otherwise, don't pick that one. Or it could be a model rover. What tools will your rover have and what will they be used for? That's something for you to think about as you construct your rover. And lastly, what is your model satellite? Construct a model satellite that will orbit your chosen planet or perhaps the moon of that planet. So the model could be one of the following things. It could be a physical model that you build with materials from home. So that's one option. Some people brought some fun things. I don't want it to just be you building a Lego set or a pre-made model rocket set. I don't want you to buy this. I want you to construct it. So what people have done in the past is they made cardboard, they decorated things, they may have even painted it. It should be a fun thing that you build to make this. But I want it to be like recyclable materials or things that you would just kind of be thrown away otherwise, anyway, that's the type of thing I want you to do. I want you to, you could also do a blueprint diagram, so just kind of sketching out what it would be, or it could be a very detailed drawing with colored pencils that really show everything that will be there. Again, if you just think that you're going to be doing a little drawing that you did in 20 minutes and have that compete with the physical model, you're going to get a very low score on this, and I don't want that to happen. So just going down the list over here, everything should be written in your own words, not copied and pasted. So I'll explain more of that. Now, when it says the length of day, obviously, if you find blue online, you could just write down blue. I'm not worried about that. I'm talking about like interesting facts. That should be written in your own words, not copied and pasted from the internet. So let's go through. Slide 1 should be your title slide, your name of planet, and at least one picture on this slide. Well, I actually made a sample one for you right here. So this is your title slide. So right here, you will put the name of your planet. So for example, I might call this Pluto. But Pluto is not one of the options. I'm picking it specifically because it's not an option and nobody will do that one. And then it says, please title your project at the top. So up here, it should say your name and the name of the planet. It should automatically have your name up there, but I'd also like for you to have your name in there as well. So mine is Project Pluto. And I'm supposed to have a picture on every single slide. So I can, of course, go to Insert, go to Image, search the web, and I'll type in Pluto. And I'll put my image of Pluto on here. And if this was really me, I might like take some time to change the font, make it look nice. There you go. Now going back to the rubric, it says slide 2, background, part 1. And it has all of the information that goes on here. So let's take a look at this. We have background part 1. And this is where you'll put the size. So I might say 3,500 meters. I have no idea. That's definitely not right, but I'll just put it on there. Color, pinkish blue. Length of a day, I'm just making this up. We'll say it is 15 Earth days. Length of a year, 267 Earth days. Temperature on the planet averages negative 456 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, so that's just an example. I just came up with all that stuff right there. Now, let's take a look and just make sure. It says websites you use hyperlinks, and at least one picture on the slide. So to complete this, I will have to, once again, come up with another picture over here. So I'm going to type in again. I can search the web over here. I can look for Pluto. Perhaps it would make sense if I pick a slightly different image over here since it's size. Maybe I could use this little size comparison one over here, and that might make sense to have. I can do this over here. I can put this in the background, right? And then change the font so it looks easier to see over there. So that's an idea. I can make this all. See, there's ways to get around it where it can look good. And then I can kind of stretch this out and make this look nice and good. Okay. Last thing is it says websites. Okay. Or I could, of course, just put this in the bottom, top right corner and it's called a day like that. Okay. So the last thing we need to do is we also need to cite the website that we got it from. So what I'm looking for you to do is actually type out the website so I can click on it and go and find the information. So if you are looking on, let's say you type in length of day for Pluto. Okay. Now, right here, it says 6.4 Earth days. So that's the answer. But again, I'm not just going to cite Google. It says it came from this website right here. So I can right click on here, copy the link address because that's where I got it from. And then when I go back to my presentation, I can say websites and I can just paste it right there. Now that doesn't look so good. So I can say one, highlighted, Control K, Control V, and paste it in there. And now I've just turned that into a hyperlink. So you can click on there and find the link in there. So again, if Mr. Johnson's looking to find it, he can click on this. It's not working very well. Link 1. And highlight it, put it there. And then again, if Mr. Johnson clicks on it, it will take me right there to it. And I can find out exactly where it is. And that's how I make sure that I have a good link for it. Now, Wikipedia is not acceptable as a link. So if something comes up for Wikipedia and we can go there, and I type in Pluto. How about we type it right? So if I go to Pluto right over here, I can't cite Wikipedia. However, what you can do is oftentimes it will say something over here, like for example, Pluto has 5 known moons, Charon over here. So if I'm trying to find out information about Charon, I can go down and at the bottom, it will cite where it got its information from. So for example, if I'm looking to find some information about Pluto, I can cite where it actually got it from. So perhaps this is where I got the information from. I can click on this and I can cite this as my website. So that is one way to get around the no Wikipedia thing, is you can sometimes cite what's there at the bottom and include that link for it. And if the link doesn't work, go to another one. They often have multiple ones right here. Like if you look over here, this is Pluto fact sheet. So if you can't do that, there's A, B, C, D. There's multiple versions of it so you can go to make sure that you find something that will work. All right, so that's just one way to get around it. Now, that's just one site right over there. That's just the background part 1. Going down over here, we want to do the same thing for interesting features. So special features of a planet. Let's look and see what they're talking about. That could be things like, does it have rains? Does it have volcanoes? Is there a name for the volcano? Name it. If does it have craters? If so, list them. And if there's nothing, say there is no special features. Maybe you say there is no rains. You say, but I want you to include all the detail that you can. If there's no moons, say that there's no moons. Otherwise, I'm assuming that it's gone. If it's weather, be specific. What type of weather are we talking about? Are there storms? What type of temperatures would we expect? If it rains, what does it rain? Is water what's coming down? Is there ice coming down? Or is there something else? All the details as possible. Don't forget to put the websites. Don't forget to put pictures. Over here, interesting facts. Please don't write fact number 1. Pluto has 2 moons. I know, because you just told us that in this one. So put something different that we haven't mentioned already for that. And again, Pluto is not one of the moons you can do, one of the planets you can do. Any of the 8 other planets you can. It cannot be a planet in another solar system either. So 3 very interesting facts, rewritten in your own words, not copied and pasted from the internet, but you can cite where you got the information from by putting it there. In fact, you must to get full credit. Next over here, mission details. What is a type of mission? So for Pluto, it would not make sense for me to say that it's a manned mission. That doesn't make any sense because, of course, Pluto is way too far away. Humans would not be able to survive it. A satellite could work, but maybe because I know it's something rocky, I can send a rover there. So I might call this one my rover mission. What do I hope to learn on the mission? I hope to learn how well do rovers do in incredibly cold temperatures, and can it dig for water/ice samples and see if any kind of life could survive there in that extreme environment. That's a sample thing you could have done. I would definitely put a picture on here, right? And over here, it now says 3 images of inspiration. What I would do is I would look for images of rovers, and I would find the images that spoke to me that I'm going to model my model after, and I'm going to put those on there. If I really like this rover, I will drag that one on there. So anything that spoke out to you that you like, you drag and you put that on here, and you have 3 images of inspiration. Down over here, slide number 7, this is where you will take a picture of your model. Either visibly, you can like say insert, use the image, and you can just like take the photo with your camera and take a photo that way. You can do the same thing with the drawing or your blueprint. Take a photo of it, put it on here. That's all you need to do for that one. And then you are done with this presentation. Once you're done with all those steps, that's all you need to do. So you're going to see me undo everything by hitting Control Z to get rid of all this stuff. I'm going to implore you to please, when you are done, you think that you're done, go over the checklist, very simple, and like check things off, right? Because you should have a hard copy paper that's handed out for you. Check things off, grade yourself on it, make sure that everything's on there, and then you're going to be ready because we are presenting this to the class. So there will be a day of presentations. I haven't figured out exactly what day to do, but be ready to go on that one. If you have any questions, you can send me an email, but I may not get to you right away. But I hope that you're going to enjoy this project. Students tend to like it a lot, and I can't wait to see what your models are, and I can't wait to hear your presentations.